Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to another Sports Talk podcast, episode number 16. So if you figure collecting profit went 150 weeks, it's 166 weeks in a row. Super stuff. Got a special guest, not a special guest. I mean, he's a special guest. He's a special guy. I got my buddy, my good friend, Anthony, Pittsburgh. How you doing, pal?
Good, man. Excited to be back. Always a honor and a privilege when I get to come on here and talk some sports with you.
John is having some bad storms where he is. So he's going to, once they pass, he will jump on. He should be in the chat. I know Beast looks a little different,
I just imagine him out like those girls at a car wash just up on the car, like whipping around in the rain.
Yep. So, hey, been a pretty big, there you go. See,
the legend is here.
Look, and he is here. Pretty big week, but pretty big last few days.
Yeah.
One big thing that happened just last night, we have a new all-time second. Well, now we have a new person has taken over second place in the most points scored in an NBA game. Bam Adebayo for Miami scored 83. Now, I'm not saying that Bam is not a good player. But if anybody would have put odds together that he would have been the guy who scores more than Kobe Bryant in one game, the odds would have been off the charts. You probably would have had a better shot at hitting the Powerball than going ahead and doing that. Hey, John, what's happening, buddy? What were your thoughts when you heard about that, Anthony?
Yeah, it was wild, man. I even saw a meme on Facebook today that basically had Tyler Hero and Bam next to Kobe and Shaq, basically saying we're better. It's like, yeah, no, you're not.
Yeah, okay, sure. The only reason why they're better is because Kobe's no longer with us and Shaq's retired. That's the only What's the only reason why they are better than them as of right now. Yeah. I was shocked. I just don't. I mean, you just wonder if at some point in the game, is it intentional?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because you would expect something like, so actually not expect, but I wasn't shocked when I heard that Kobe went for 81 because he's Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Like if someone said to you, man, Shea Gildress, SGA went for, 70, or Jason Tatum, or Donovan Mitchell, or Steph Curry. Right? You'd be like, oh, yeah, Luka. Oh, yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But Bam Adebayo. So.
I mean, Bam's good, but I didn't see that coming.
No, that's what I'm saying, man. If you did that, boom, you would have, you definitely would not have to work anymore. Some big football news, guys. We're gonna try and go through some of the signings and everything, but the biggest one that came out was this whole Max Crosby thing.
I know.
I mean, they trade Max Crosby to Baltimore, if no one knows, right, for 2 first-round picks.
Yep.
Max agrees to what was the 4-year, $115 million contract, something along those lines. And then something shows up in his physical. Deal done. Max, go back.
You know what I think probably happened is they probably found that they could get Erickson at a better deal. They probably just refused to. Because then they're like, oh, we can keep 2 first-round picks. Because honestly, Erickson's like not as good as Crosby, but he's pretty close.
Yeah, Hendricks, I mean, he stays in the division. He goes from Cincinnati to Baltimore, which I'm sure Trey is probably happy about that. Gets a little revenge, twice a year and everything. But here's the thing for me that I wonder about. And I don't know how it's going to affect everything. But the Raiders, they've been going crazy. I mean, they signed A wide receiver, Jalen Nairth, $35 million. Tyler from the Ravens, $81 million. They gave $16 million to Keewitty Payne. Nakobe Dean got 36. Quay Walker got 40. Eric Stokes got 30. But now you're going ahead and you're bringing Max's salary back.
Yeah.
So salary cap issues, it's going to be interesting to see what they have to do.
I'm sure they're going to probably still trade him. Just a matter of where he ends up.
Yeah,
I mean, with 2 first-round picks still.
Well, that's just failing the physical and everything. So I was listening to what's his name? The guy on ESPN, Adam. No, Schefter. Yeah, okay. Shefty. And and he said, "Oh, look at this. He's going to attempt it. The storm must be gone."
I'm going to try this. Hopefully, the noise isn't too bad.
But Shefty said that now it's probably gone to maybe a 2 and a 4. That you probably won't even get a first rounder for him because of this. So now all of a sudden, though, here's the big thing, though. Does that open it up for more teams?
I would think it would.
Right?
I mean, the 2 and a 4, I think the Steelers should get in on it, even though they have no need of pass rush.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking from that standpoint, right? I mean, if if all of a sudden you think you can get them for a 2 and a 4, now the problem is they're not saying what they saw, right? Lockett says, "I don't understand why so many players sign with bad teams without even shopping around." Well, because I think the problem you have is too many. They spend their cap money. I think that's what the problem you have is. A guy like Max Crosby, unless he gets traded to a team, these free agent guys. I mean, Hendricks for Cincinnati, signed with Baltimore. That's that's good. But a lot of these teams, a lot of these guys get overpaid. They shouldn't get it. I mean, Nakobe Dean, okay, good. 3 years, $36 million, 20 guaranteed from the Raiders. Quay Walker, a good player. 3 years, $40 million, 28 guaranteed. I mean, Tyler Lindbaum, a center, 3 years, $81 million. Because I think ultimately, let's face it, as soon as we want to think that it's not about the money and it's about winning, what is it all about?
Exactly.
It's all about the Benjamins, man. I mean, that's what these guys, are going for.
Well, I know the 3 teams that they list in the running for Max is us, the Cowboys, and the 49ers. Now, we have the most cap space at almost $80 million, but I mean, I think with us taking, I can't pronounce his name, Owe, set him up with a 4-year, $100 million contract. Do we really need Max at that point? I mean, he does have an injury, so I mean, there's that.
Yeah, and then you also signed Chase on a 1-year deal, so you signed 2 edges. I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting from that standpoint of where they go. You're right, and that's what it's all about, though, Larkin. I mean, these guys go ahead and they want to get all. Look, if you're a football player, you would be foolish that if you got a chance to get a bag, to not go ahead and go for that bag, not knowing the way the league is.
Right.
I mean, all it takes is, if you're a wide receiver, you should grab the bag as much as you can. All you have to do is go across the middle, bang.
Mm-hmm.
And, concussion, you're done. So I really can understand in this sport why the players go for the big dollars and will deal with it getting cut or whatever it may be. I think that's why you're looking at them now for a lot of them, it's more about the, guaranteed upfront money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you look at what Lamar Jackson did. He converted $49.95 million of salary into signing bonuses, added a one void year, clearing almost $40 million in cap space for Baltimore. And Josh Allen did the same thing with $15.2 million, clearing 12.1 for the Bills. So I mean,
what did you think, Michael, of the reunion there in New York with your old quarterback Geno?
I don't understand it. And I truly mean that. I mean, I don't know. You don't know what Geno you're getting. Are you getting the one that was in Seattle that did well, or are you getting the one that was with the Raiders? Now, there are people that are saying that he struggled because their offensive line really was not good. As bad as the Jets were last year, the offensive line was the only part that had a flicker of hope. I think they were the only team last year to start the same starting 5 offensive linemen in every game. So now, does that mean that's good for Geno Smith? Does that mean that's bad for Geno Smith? I don't know. I don't get it from a standpoint of this. Are you trying to win, or were you trying to go ahead and, in a way, tank to get a higher pick?
I gotta wonder if he's there just to start a few weeks until a rookie's ready to take over.
Well, I think, and you make a good point. I think it all depends on what we see out of this draft. I mean, I'll be honest. There were people that were saying that they should take the 16th pick, trade back, and try and get Ty Simpson from Alabama. I don't see it. I don't see the love.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying that about Pittsburgh too, and I'm not really feeling Ty Simpson either. Did see you guys picked up Minka Fitzpatrick for a 7th. That was kind of a steal.
I could not believe that. And then 3 years, $40 million. I'll go ahead. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's an outrageous deal. Not for that player. But to me, like I said, I just don't understand from my standpoint of it's okay. So Geno Smith, unless he really has gone, unless the good years were a flash in the pan and he's going back to now to when that he has regressed. So if he has not regressed, I don't understand the reason for bringing in a quarterback, and it's going to sound weird, but that could potentially go ahead and win you games.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you have 2 first-round picks, this year? I mean, you have 3 first-round picks next year. Unless the thought process is we don't care. If we win games, fine. We'll package those picks to move up and get who we want to get. That's the only thing I could think of.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be interesting to see, what other teams do. I mean, Miami spending the money that they spent on Malik Willis was interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
A guy who really didn't work out in Tampa. I mean, in Tennessee, played just well enough. But here's what people are like. I don't understand. It's actually very simple why he went to Miami. The GM came from Green Bay. The head coach came from Green Bay. They know him.
Yep.
They want their guy. But what's amazing? Did you guys see the dead money hit on the for Tua?
No, it was like 30 something or
the Dolphins would love it if it was 30.
How much
99 million.
Dang. That's a hurt piece.
A 99. So what they're going to do is they're going to wait until June, I think they said, to let him go.
Mm-hmm.
But they basically have already told him that, and supposedly he has kind of sort of already agreed to a 1-year deal with Atlanta. I But I think if they wait until June 1st, they can take that hit over 2 years.
Yeah, because Cousins did the same thing in Atlanta. They did the same thing to him.
Yeah. $99 million dead cap hit.
Yeah, that's a hurt piece.
That's a record.
Yeah.
The Cardinals released Kyler Murray.
Did see that.
What's the talk in Pittsburgh for quarterback?
So we're waiting on Aaron currently. I mean, I've heard a few things about Kyler Murray, but I've also heard he's probably maybe going to Minnesota. I'm not entirely sure. But we just traded for Michael Pittman the other day, gave him a new contract, 3 years, $59 million. So he can pair nicely with DK. We haven't had a legitimate number 2 receiver in years, so that'll be really nice. They lost Gainwell, but then they picked up Rico Dowdle from the Panthers.
That's a nice little move there.
Yeah.
That's a sneaky good one.
Yep. Then they re-signed Cam Hayward for another 2 years. They picked up Jamel Dean to be their second corner. Re-signed Asante Samuel Jr. to be the third corner, and then they got another safety in Darnell Savage.
Yeah.
They're trying to rebuild the defensive secondary a little bit.
Yeah, they had a good offseason. Yeah, Dolphins did go ahead and lose a lot of people. Johnny, what about you and your Skins?
I think we've done pretty good so far. I mean, I'm just happy we re-signed Mariota, even if it's a 1-year deal.
I did see that. I thought of you when I saw that, actually.
What him and Jaden have together is why to get rid of him. That would be stupid at this point. Maybe next year if there's somebody better, but getting rid of Lattimore, I'm happy about that. I don't think he'll sign anywhere, but who knows? And the pickups that we have so far aren't bad.
Laramie Tunsil's that's a pretty good one.
I don't know if I agree to the 4-year, $100 million contract, but it is what it is. I'm not the team owner, so.
Odafe Owe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's a big contract for him.
Was he a Raven?
Yeah.
Yeah. He is.
I automatically like him better not being a Raven anymore.
I mean, what he's been around since 21.
I think he picked up Leo Chenal as well. He's pretty decent from the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple guys. I mean, I haven't seen them play. Like the last couple guys, defensive end, Charles Omenihu. Never heard of Nick Cross, safety. I'm not sure how he played, if he was good. I didn't look these guys up ahead of time. I should have.
Dom, that's awesome.
But I think we picked up. I mean, why? I don't know why we said Jake Moody, but whatever. I knew most of the ones we were going to re-sign. I'm just waiting to see if they re-sign Debo. I would hope they do, but they're also looking at that guy out of the 49ers, Ayuk, I think is his name or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, well, I think the other thing, 49ers, I mean, not 49ers, but, Chiefs, I think, walking from, not only that, I mean, but they let, Chanel walk. And then they also traded, what's his name? McDuffie?
Mm-hmm.
They traded him to the Rams.
They did pick up Walker. I thought that was pretty sneaky.
I mean, you pick up Kenneth Walker. That's really nice. They lost Pachenko. Pachenko signed with Detroit, which is interesting.
I think they upgraded though with Walker.
Oh, it's a hell of an upgrade with Walker. Iron solid pick up detail. Yep, Cowboys fan doing business pretty shocking. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they've done some good stuff. I mean, it's very interesting when you look at some of the play. Like Lockett said, you got these guys signing, and it makes you really.
You know who I think is going to have a career year this year?
Ever good to sign a Super Bowl MVP. Who?
DJ Moore. He got traded to the Bills.
Yeah.
He's going to be with Josh Allen now. He looked awesome with Caleb Williams. Like I can't imagine what he's going to look like with Josh Allen.
And they just signed Chubb.
Yeah,
Brady, the outside linebacker. I don't know. It's all these little moves you just don't know about. Look, the thing is football very different with than what we have is because of the game. Guys go, like you're saying, guys go where the money is. Like you're saying, like Devin Bush signs with the Bears.
yeah.
Okay, it makes sense, upcoming and stuff like that, but that's still, it's still a little crazy, for $30 million.
Why couldn't he be good when he was a Steeler? It's like he became good after he left.
Yeah.
You look at Jalen Phillips signing a 4-year, $120 million deal with Carolina.
Yeah, it's wild.
They also picked up Kenny Pickett, so.
Yeah, it's his 5th team in 5 years.
Yeah.
It's all downhill since he looked at black and gold. Romeo Dobbs takes his gigantic helmet out to New England. So it's another weapon for Drake May.
He got
that high end of a weapon though.
He got a nice little deal.
Yeah. 4 years, $70 million.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, like I said, it's Kenny Pickett signed with the Carolina Panthers, Anthony.
He's trying to get the rainbow jerseys.
I think it's like I said, when you look at certain things like Travis Etienne leaving Jacksonville to go to New Orleans. Now, does that mean that what's his name? Alvin Kamara might be on his way out or is on his way out?
Probably. I would think so.
That's a little due. I mean, 4 years, $52 million. Gainwell, yeah, I said you lost him. He went to the Bucks.
Dude, how about Alec Pierce grabbing that bag, man? He got 4 years, $114 million, with $84 million in guarantees, with $60 million fully guaranteed at the time of signing. That's a pretty nice looking deal.
Well, what about Daniel Jones getting 2 years, $88 million?
He's a quarterback though, but yeah, that's a crap load of money for Daniel Jones.
Well, wait a minute, didn't he go ahead and didn't he blow his Achilles?
Danny Dimes? Yeah, he did get hurt last year.
Right? Wasn't his Achilles?
I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly what he hurt.
I thought he went ahead and I thought he got hurt and that's why he had to stop playing. That's why he, But I mean, that's pretty incredible, Daniel Jones. And you got to figure with some of these guys the way some of their money works, right? Like you take a Tua who gets cut, but they still owe him money.
Mm-hmm.
So now he can go ahead and he can sign with the Falcons for 1 year. Like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray can go and sign for a 1 year deal at veteran minimum because the Cardinals are paying him, however many millions of dollars because they cut him.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the Cardinals are paying him $36 million. I mean, that's like isn't that what happened with Russ with Pittsburgh? When Denver cut him, didn't Pittsburgh sign him?
Yeah, they paid him the minimum, and he collected from the other team.
And that's what somebody's going to do with Murray. But where's Murray going to go? Is Murray still a starter in the NFL?
That's a good question. I mean, I think he could be. I mean, for a team that is looking to rebuild.
Yeah.
I think he's in the right situation.
Yeah,
I think he's kind of like a Mariota, a backup, but he could start if you really need him to. I don't see him being the starter out of the box, but
what do you think?
Murray's also he's one of those designated ones where it's you got the year and they have 2 years to spread the money over.
Mm-hmm.
Cap hit was like 52 million, just under 53 million.
You're right. He is probably the best one that'll be out there now. But here, so let me ask you this. I'll ask both of you. You're a head coach, you're an organization. You have your starting quarterback and you're looking for a backup quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking for in your backup quarterback?
Somebody that can come in and win a game or two.
I think I'd probably say the same. You need somebody who's going to be there. Like if your quarterback is injured, but he can be back in a week or two, that guy that come in can replace him basically and get you a win one out of two of those at least.
Right. You just want somebody that can basically effectively manage a few games for you, right? To keep you in games, potentially, help you win, but not necessarily have to go ahead and say, hey, fourth quarter, go do some magic.
Yeah. Just give me Charlie Batch and I'm happy.
Yeah. But now, what if I said to you, does the style of play that you use for your starter, what does that change for who you would want your backup to be?
Not so much for me. Just because I've seen like teams build around Cordell Stewart that would shift to Tommy Maddox or, like Mike Tomczak into Cordell Stewart. So it's doable. It's not ideal because obviously, like if you have a running quarterback, you're going to have a lot more of the run pass options and stuff like that in your game plan, as opposed to a more pocket quarterback where you're not going to have any of that stuff in your game plan. So I think there's packages for both. I mean, I could see how it'd be really attractive to have a Justin Fields as your backup right now, just judging of how we were able to use him in Pittsburgh a couple of years ago, where you can kind of bring him in as like a gadget type guy and kind of use him in certain situations that you normally couldn't do with, like, say, an Aaron Rodgers. So I think there is a place for it, but it just depends on what your objective is. Like, for example, right now in Pittsburgh, our objective would be somebody learning off of Aaron Rodgers. So necessarily that wouldn't be the best fit. The best fit would be somebody that, like, Aaron's game would translate the best fit, So, like, in our situation, Will Howard kind of works out, or a rookie quarterback or something like of that nature. But I guess it just depends on the situation for me more so, because I could see it working out positively either way. Like I said, with the Justin Fields example.
I agree with Anthony on that. It could go both ways. I mean, I really like who we have because he fits what we do with Mariota, because he can run. He's a scrambler like Jaden is, so it kind of works. If we would have picked up Kyle, I don't think he would have fit right. Not for what we do.
Right, and that's what gets me about someone like Kyle or Murray. Mm-hmm. Not saying that he, is not worthy of being a starter or being a back, right? The guy is definitely worthy. The guy is very talented, But I would think if you bring a guy like that in, number one, if you plan on making him your starter, you're not all of a sudden going, okay, hey, we are going to run a pocket passing offense with that guy. Right. But then my wonder from this standpoint is if you bring him in, it's like if he went to Minnesota, are you okay with, all of a sudden JJ, like if you're JJ McCarthy, or are you all of a sudden now worrying, oh man, am I going to go ahead and, am I going to start? Are they bringing Kyler in to take my job? Am I now going to go to the bench? From that standpoint, you bring him in as a you draft a young quarterback, you draft someone in this draft, and you bring him in. is he the type of guy that a young guy can? But wouldn't you have to bring in the same style quarterback if you're depending on someone like Kyler Murray to help mold the guy?
I think he would have to be somewhat like him, but maybe not all the way.
I mean, with Kyler, I don't know like how great of a mentor he really is for a young quarterback. For me, I think he's more of a guy you bring in to compete with whatever's on your roster. But like it to John's point, like it makes perfect sense for them to have Mariota as a backup because of the way they use Jaden in that game, and that's the same reason that Baltimore's had Huntley for so long. Just because with Lamar, it makes perfect use to have a guy like that backing him up. So I see like your guys point big time in like having a guy that kind of fits that exact system. But again, I think it really comes down to like kind of what your objective is. Like if your objective for a backup quarterback is just in case something happens to my guy who I 100% always want in there, then you don't need as much out of them as opposed to I need this guy to be like the future of my franchise. You know what I mean? To where you want to invest more into the guy that's in front of them in that case.
See, and that is what I had heard, Luck, and this is what this guy scared me. That's why I'm more than happy from. I'm more than happy to have Geno Smith, just because of the things that I've heard about Kyler Murray. Even though Kyler Murray is a better quarterback than Geno Smith, but don't get me wrong.
4 times less good of an investment than Will Greer. How does that factor?
Now, here's the thing. I don't know if Geno Smith can, mentor a young quarterback. From that standpoint, I really, I have no idea whether he can. He hasn't had to do that, right? He was the backup in Seattle, until, their quarterback left. And then they got rid of him and they let him go. They got rid of him, and then they brought in, Sam Darnold. So it wasn't like they had somebody sitting there waiting, that they had enough confidence that they could trade him because he mentored whoever was there. They went, no, we'll take the guy that was 14-2 in Minnesota because you don't want him.
That was such a good pickup for them. So they're just waiting a few years for his contract to be up so they can bring in Justin Fields next.
That's right. Yeah. Keep it going. Well, no. They would not bring in Justin Fields. Wrong. They would bring in Zach Wilson.
I could see that. Do you think Zach Wilson has any life left in him?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to say no because the kid can throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if anybody's going to be willing to take it. So, like, to me, he would have to go the route of like a Malik Willis, to be honest with you. Yeah. Like, he would have to go somewhere, have somebody get hurt, and then do what Malik Willis did. And then we know the way it is. That's the way NFL is. Malik Willis got that contract because, Love got hurt and he played good.
Yeah.
For only a few games.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing, so a Zach Wilson could have the same thing. He could go somewhere. I don't know. He could go to the Chargers and Herbert gets hurt and he goes out there and he plays, well for 4 games, 5 games. And somebody needs a shot and they go, hey, you know what? Maybe the kid, is just in a really bad situation. I mean, look at Sam Darnold. I mean, he's a perfect example, right? He was like backup fighting in Carolina. Then he went out to the 49ers and was the same type of thing there. And then he went to Minnesota, and he was not supposed to be the starter. I mean, it seemed as though they wanted JJ McCarthy to be the starter. JJ went ahead and got hurt. So Sam went ahead and took advantage and did what he had to do. Boom, boom, bing, bang, boom. Next thing you know, Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
Would you have rather had Geno or Russell Wilson? Because he's free agent too. For your Jets.
I mean, I don't know. Okay. So because I would not want to win a lot of games, I'd go with Russ.
You know, it's funny. That question to me was like asking, "Hey, which shoe would you rather step in dog crap with?
Your left shoe or your right shoe? Would you like to get the heel of the left shoe, or would it be the toe of the right shoe?"
Here's one for you guys.
Neither.
There is 511 free agents right now. That's what I'm looking up. Out of them, who do you think's the biggest one that you're surprised has not been signed yet to somewhere? I mean, you have obviously Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Tyreek Hill, Jawan Taylor, Taylor Decker, Lattimore, Diggs are the top, good ones, I guess. Oh, and Debo and Jonathan Allen, but I mean, as far as like the top, roughly in the top 10 there.
I think the
What's up, Sean?
New guy, Sean Texas Card Depot. No longer a Jedi, so that's a massive step backwards.
Yeah.
I mean, you go from a Jedi to a card depot. Sorry, that's.
You went from a Macy's to a Goodwill.
No, I would say
probably. It kind of sounds like a Home Depot of cards to me. It sounds kind of cool. He lost his Jedi license.
He may.
Have you become a Sith? Have you come to the dark side?
I mean, Murray is so new. Kirk Cousins doesn't surprise me. I can see that, you just don't know what people are thinking, with him. I mean, there's a guy who, he hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't been a problem. He's a guy who was in a crazy situation in Washington. Right.
Oh yeah.
From that standpoint, he was, he's definitely, doing all the transition tags, the franchise tag, the whole things and everything, and getting paid a ton of money and stuff. And then he signs his big deal and he moves around and he gets cut and so on and so forth. But I think that's what he was. I think, he is what I think he is. He's to me, he's the type of guy that if I am, I know Denver just signed, let's say, a Sam Ellinger, right? But to me, he's the type of guy that, let's say, like a Denver should sign as a backup for Bo Nix, right? Because if the way Bo plays, Bo could go ahead and get hurt again, so on and so forth. So, again, type of guy that, I mean, to me, he's like Mariota would be is for Jaden. I think that's where a guy like Kirk Cousins, he's in that Mariota type area of he can come in, get you a few starts, win you a couple games, keep you in games that you could potentially go ahead and win, from that standpoint. So it could be interesting to see, where someone like that goes. I mean, go to New England. I mean, it would suck, but go to New England, be Drake May's backup. I think we're at a point now with him, where he's a backup. To me, I put him in like the same, same class as like Andy Dalton. Right? Andy Dalton's just going to keep hanging out in friggin' Carolina. They're going to keep paying him. He's going to be the backup there. He's doing a good job working with, Young and stuff, stuff along those lines.
Yeah, what more can you ask for if you're trying to develop a young guy, to have somebody that's been there that's happy to just sit behind him and help?
Yeah. But I think, with some of those players you mentioned, John, is that, some of them, although they were good, they're the top ones. I mean, did Lattimore really? did Lattimore show enough to be one of the top free agents still available? Right. So
No,
you know,
not to me.
Diggs. I think Diggs was hurt a little bit. Kyler Murray really is the most, and when it boils down to, he's going to be the most intriguing one now, because he's really good.
Because I mean, I know with Tyreek, it's with his injury, it's probably what's holding people back from signing him. Because who knows when he's going to be back.
And he's going to be different. He's not going to be a cheetah anymore. Maybe he's an antelope.
It's kind of the same with Lattimore. I mean, but he never showed us. Like, I don't see really anybody else in it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is towards the bottom, middle. Joey Bosa is another one that I think was a pretty decent player.
He is, but he's another injury guy, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
From that standpoint, like I said, Kyler Murray is the interesting one because he still has starter potential. Like I said, I don't look at Kirk Cousins that way. I even Tua. I mean, Tua's going to sign a 1-year deal with the Falcons. We all know what Tua is hoping for. Tua's hoping that he goes there. It's a rebirth. He has a good year, and then he either re-signs with Atlanta or somebody else is like, hey, you know what? He's healthy. He's looking pretty good. Give him a shot.
Is Tua going to compete with Penix, or is he going to back up Penix? Like, what's the plan there?
No, I believe if Tua goes there, he's going to be the starter. I think Penix is out with an ACL.
Okay, so he's out the whole season, or just
I believe. Well, I don't know if it's the whole season, but I believe Penix got hit. I think it's and here's the crazy thing: it's Penix's like third ACL injury.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think they said like in the last 8 years, he's had 5 knee injuries. That's why everybody was so surprised that friggin' Atlanta took him when they did after they just signed Cousins.
Yeah.
Because of his history. And now people said that, hey, well, if he went ahead and, if he went ahead, and hadn't had any injuries, he would have been, he might have been the overall number 1 pick. Yeah, you're right. Maybe he would have, but he did. And it wasn't like he had one injury. In college, he blew out both ACLs.
Right.
True, Tua. I mean, Tua's going to have a hard time. He can't play in cold weather.
You have a dome.
Yeah, you can play in a dome, so won't have to play in cold weather that much. I don't know. CJ's having a hard time. Big year for CJ. I think you have coming up. I think he has to really show himself. That's right. Penix did go ahead and get hurt in high school also. So he's just been a guy who has gotten hurt a lot. That's why I'm surprised. I wonder if Atlanta knew Kyler was going to be available, if they would have extended the offer to Tua.
I don't know.
But to me, Kyler Murray is probably the most intriguing one right now from a role standpoint. Like where do you go if you're Kyler, and you believe you're a starter, where are you going to go?
I mean, honestly, if I'm Tyler, I'm trying to get to Minnesota because I want to throw it to Jefferson and Addison. You know what I mean? Like, set yourself up to be as successful as possible and give yourself some weaponry. So
but if you're going somewhere to be a starter, though, right?
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I honestly think Kyler would start over McCarthy. I don't know how high they are on McCarthy, but he hasn't looked very great, in my opinion.
No, and to your point, that probably is a really good area for him to go ahead and go to and, and flourish there.
I mean, I can try to look good with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. Well, and see, here we have right now this is where the way the NFL changed the salary structures for rookies makes that able to happen.
Yeah.
Because now Minnesota can go ahead and go, you know what? Big mistake. We shouldn't have drafted him, and it's not going to kill him. Huh?
He asked if Kyler can play in Chicago or Green Bay in the snow, and I said no, he cannot.
Probably not that well.
Do you think it's possible he goes to Las Vegas?
It's possible, but I think Vegas has their heart set on Fernando.
I think it's Fernando all the way, and I think they throw him out there to go ahead and start. And I'm not necessarily, I don't know, to see what the kid has. If you could say, hey, we'll take Kyler 1-year deal. But again, if you're the Raiders, new head coach, new system, Kyler very different from Fernando in their styles. And see, that's why I was asking the question before. How much of that would you look at if you were the coach? Kyler Murray, man, very, very talented. But we plan on using our pick on a guy that we believe can be our starting quarterback for the next 10 years. I mean, every team that takes a freaking quarterback in the first round, especially in the high first round, they all believe the guy's going to be there for 10 years. Nobody's thinking 3 years and he's gone, right? So, if you're thinking that along those lines, if you take Kyler, you already know that he's not the best guy off the field and studying this, that, and the other thing.
Yep.
How do you bring him in and say, okay, hey, Kyler, we're bringing you in. But we're going to draft, Fernando number 1 overall. So in reality, you're really only going to be here for a year, maybe. He may be starting after our bye week.
To your point, sorry, I was going to say to your point with the whole Kyler Murray thing and like their hopes and stuff, and even going into the whole Tua thing where he's like one of the largest dead cap spaces in history. I remember 7 years ago when the entire talk around the league was tank for Tua.
Yeah.
You think of all of these teams that literally tried to lose games so that they could end up with a Tua or a Kyler Murray or, whomever is like the hopefully next Sam Darnold resurrection project or whatnot. But it's just wild to think of, you know what I mean? Like we could be 7 years from now. Like, remember when Mendoza was supposed to be good? You know what I mean? Or whatnot.
Yeah. Well, I let's take go forward. Everybody's saying, tank for Arch Manning.
Yeah.
There's going to be a big thing here. But the funny thing is if you go through the NFL and you go through the teams, unless you're willing to move off of somebody that you've paid good money to, I mean, those guys, unless you drafted that other quarterback over the next couple of years, you have to see, right? But you got to figure the Bills wouldn't take a shot at him. New England probably wouldn't take a shot at him. Baltimore, no. Now, again, they're not going to be in a position, right? But you look at some of the teams, you go, well, hey, I can see a Carolina Panthers, even though Bryce Young is doing pretty good. If you're not doing that well, you can go ahead and get an Arch Manning. Go right ahead.
For sure.
But that's what you're going to see. We're going to see the same type of thing, and stuff like that. And, I mean, but the truth of the matter is this, it's going to be, it's easy for management to want the team to tank. But these players, especially anyone that can be, because they could be cut at any time, because they're going to be potentially free agents, they're going to be like, look, I ain't going out there tanking because I'm not having that on my film. When I become a free agent, and they go, yeah, that guy really didn't play that well, didn't try that hard. I don't want him on my team. So it's a little harder to for that to happen. I mean, the only way you could happen is you trade all your good players and you're playing guys that you called up from the practice squad. You're playing all of a sudden now you have a bunch of starters that were undrafted free agents, right?
Mhm.
That you almost have to tank that way by not putting talent out on the field. Because if you put talent out on the field, like Cam Hayward, is Cam Hayward gonna go ahead and try and
He
play
just resigned.
half-ass? I know, but I'm saying no, but it's a Cam. Even at his age, is Cam Hayward gonna be like, yeah, well, okay, I'm just gonna go, half speed? No,
Yeah, no. That dude still is like one of the last people chasing people down the field, and he's 300 plus pounds.
yeah. So I mean, it's it's easy for that to go ahead and happen and stuff, but I mean, but now the Cardinals, what do they look? What are they doing for a quarterback? Now they are in the market.
Yep.
Now they have Jacoby Brissett. I think they have don't they have let me see here real fast. I think they signed the stash. They did.
Minshew.
That's it, man. They signed Gardner, so
It's kind of nice that you can just say the stash, and we just kind of know who you're talking about.
so I don't know. It's
So I'm reading that Tua actually signed with the Falcons a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
yeah, they can't make it official until like tomorrow, I think, or today, something along those lines. They weren't they weren't able to make it official because I think they had to wait for a certain date before they could cut him or anything like that, or officially whatever it might be. I think I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I was looking it up, like transactions. It doesn't show up on the NFL transaction. He doesn't show up as a quarterback, free agent quarterback. So I was like,
He signed this afternoon. And Texans picked up David Montgomery.
Didn't see that. Not a bad move by them. He's a
No.
solid.
I know this is from my team, but just curiosity, do you think Von Miller and Wagner stay with our team or they end up moving on? Who do you think would pick them up?
It's a good question.
Wagner, I could see because he's towards the end.
We really know.
I could see him going back to Seattle. But I don't know how much. If you're not sure if he is. If he'd be willing. If Seattle had an opening, I don't think Seattle has an opening as a starter, and I'm not sure that Bobby Wagner probably even now still believes that he is not worthy of being a starter. I'm sure he believes he's worthy of being a starter.
That's what he's going to have to play 1 more year.
Huh?
So they run one middle in Seattle.
I think so.
Yeah, because right now they have Ernest Jones at the, I think, middle linebacker. So
Yeah.
they probably wouldn't even have a starting role for him.
Right.
Unless Jones didn't come back this year, which I think he's still under contract.
Von Miller's an interesting one, man, because you remember there was a time when he was it.
Yeah, he's part of the reason Peyton Manning won that championship with Denver.
When he was with Denver, and then all of a sudden it was like, what happened?
I mean, he had some decent years with LA, and he played okay with the Bills as well.
Yeah.
He did good with
He
us.
wasn't like Denver, though.
And the time he was with us, he wasn't terrible.
Yeah. No, I mean, I look at, to me, obviously, I think, like I said, like we were talking about the contracts of the NFL. I think what when you're a younger guy and you can get that deal, I think a lot of them, are going to go, where they can get the most bang for the buck. And I think, if you're a little older player, and you maybe only have, a couple, 3 years, you're thinking maybe 4 years. Well, hell, at the end, at that point, you might as well, sign with a team that has the potential to go ahead and be there. I mean,
Because he is 36. He's going to turn 37 here soon. So, yeah. I can see letting him go.
yeah. So, I mean, do you, I don't know,
Especially the people we picked up, plus we have the draft. So, I mean,
this draft is going to be very interesting.
when is that again? And what?
It is I think 27th through 29th.
And you're going to get us.
What's that?
April, right?
Yeah, next month.
And you're going to get us a first day look, camera and all video and all that for us?
I'm pretty sure I'm going. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get tickets to get inside. I've signed up for them. Even my wife has signed up for them, just in case I can't get them. But if nothing else, you'll see me outside with a bunch of people.
So we need the Pittsburgh Steelers, hard hat, but then we need like the GoPro attachment so we get,
Yeah, I can. I actually one of our last few cruises, when we went to Australia, I bought Irene a GoPro to go in the Great Barrier Reef with, so I could definitely do that.
And you're going to have the terrible towel when your team, doesn't drive.
Have action.
We can definitely make that happen.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting past couple days.
Well, it's crazy how it is. Like this is, they call, what do they call it? They call this is the official tampering.
Yeah. Well, today was the actual free agent signing day, right? The 11th,
right.
I believe.
But up until that, it was the actual, when tampering is allowed. You can talk. I was like, whatever.
What? Why? Why do you even have that? Just say, look, this day you guys can start. No, I have not, Locke, and I can't say that I have.
Nor have I.
I don't know, but I gotta go look for them and see. I definitely want to try and get a couple.
And if I find any, I'll let you guys know, but I have not seen any yet. But then again, I haven't really looked for that product, so it could be out there.
Speaking of WWE, the NXT PLEs are no longer going to be on Peacock. It sounds like. It sounds like the next one in April is going to be on YouTube, on WWE's channel. So I don't know if that means they're going to take those and keep them on YouTube and make them, available to anybody with, a YouTube, which to me would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, from that standpoint. So that means Peacock then will only have Saturday night's main event. At that point, why bother?
Since we're on that subject, what did you think of Monday Night Raw? I know you didn't really see it, Mike. I don't know if you watched the replay or not yet, but
the whole 47 masked man thing, and then running around like they're playing a friggin' shell game without probably just like freaking stupid. If you get to see I don't know if Anthony, you might not have watched the clip, but watch the whole thing. It's like all of a sudden, a whole bunch of the hooded guys go in the ring, they leave. Seth Rollins takes his off. Logan Paul and Austin Theory come in, and they're gonna beat up Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, the masked men jump back in the ring. He pulls the mask down, and then they all run around, like somebody playing 3-card Monty or shifting the P game around everything, and then they're all standing there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wondering which one is Seth Rollins.
And then they all leave the ring, and somebody lost his shoe.
Yeah, they all jump out of the ring. Somebody lost his shoe. And then if you notice, if you watch the thing when LA Knight comes out, I don't know if you notice, Logan Paul had like some kind of microphone or something taped to his chest.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I didn't know what that was. Happy with the Judgment Day thing. I was tired. I mean, I'm surprised JD, but not really. But, Finn being, beat up and stuff like that. I mean, I think the writing was on the wall. But I think people saw this from when, WWE did their European tour and they were in Belfast.
Yeah.
And Finn got his shot from that standpoint, So I think that part was, that part was,
I mean, I thought at one point they might have had Rey Mysterio come out just because of what Finn had said. Your father's right. You are a spoiled little prick. But
I agree.
I think they're going to have something there. So,
yeah, I think it's interesting. It's funny. People are going, "Oh my gosh, WrestleMania is shaping up," and this, that, and the other. And I'm going, "What is it shaping up to be?" I mean, what do we still know? The only thing we know is we know the four heavyweight championship matches for sure, the two men's and the two women's.
Yeah,
and we know that Brock Lesnar has some kind of open challenge thing.
And I think, no, because you don't even know that with AJ Lee, because now they have Bayley going up against her. This Monday, I think.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to happen with her. You don't know what's going to happen. The women's U.S. title is just a flipping joke, even though I think Julia is an unbelievable wrestler. I love what she's doing there and stuff.
I agree.
But I think,
that sucks locking. That was one of the matches I would actually look forward to.
But it doesn't surprise me at this point in time.
Where did that come out at? I didn't see anything about that.
It's probably one of those things that's more understood than actually written in stone. But again, that's one of those things where if you have Brock go up against Oba and you have Oba win, what does that do? Oh, look who it is.
What's up, CEO?
Hello, everybody.
Man, the myth, the legend.
The only thing I could see it doing is possibly, and it'd be again another passing of the torch, possibly. But he did that with Cody, supposedly.
But what is he passing? So he's passing it to do what? Then he's no longer the Beast?
Yeah, I don't know.
Then does he start getting beat up by like Dominic Mysterio?
That'd be cool if he did.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying, like I don't know I don't know what you do with him.
They have Rey Mysterio come out and throw him into the side of a truck like NWO did to Rey back in the day.
Either gonna squash Seth or LA Knight, depending on if Breaker is ready to go.
I don't see them squashing Seth. Possibly LA Knight, but I don't see
Brock Lesnar's retiring at SummerSlam, which makes sense. It's in Minnesota. It's in Minnesota, so that's not far-fetched.
That would make sense.
But to me, again, we spoke about it a number of times. Okay, what are you doing with Obafemi?
Not enough.
But you're making him go ahead and beat the crap out of everybody. So, what do you do with him? I mean, are you making him your world champion in 6 months?
I mean, I would definitely build to it. He has the potential.
But is it too early? I mean, guy just came up from NXT. Is it too early to make him the face of the company?
Maybe.
From what I'm reading, they are planning on an Oba versus Brock at WrestleMania. Despite alternative rumors, plan is set is for Beast versus Ruler match.
And I'm okay with that, but I think Brock has to win.
Yeah.
I don't think it's kind of like with Trick.
Does he win that match and then they have a rematch at SummerSlam where Brock loses his retirement match? Since
But how do you have Obafemi beat him when you have this other guy that you have named him the career killer? Shouldn't that,
I could never see Gunther beating Brock Lesnar in any
but
way.
shouldn't that be what it is supposed to be?
It's supposed to be, but
If you've built up Gunther to be the guy who ends the guys, he's
That
the
would
end,
make sense.
right?
I mean, it would make sense. Yes, I agree to that. I think it'd be a terrible match personally.
But if it makes sense, will WWE actually book it?
Yeah, point that. Or look, you were the career killer. Now you're no longer that.
Now your career's been killed.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way, you have to look at it from that standpoint. That was out of all the names that they could have given him, because Ring General, I guess, was not good enough anymore. Career killer is the worst.
Yeah.
Because you're
Maybe
going
they
up.
couldn't copyright Ring General. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's
Because Randy's technically, he still uses Legend Killer every now and then, but very rarely. So it's kind of like, is he really the Legend Killer? Is he still, or is it going to be Gunther to be the career killer? I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me the way they did that.
yeah.
And I don't think Gunther should be the only one. Okay, this is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Why you keep one guy to do it? I think that's just, I don't like that idea.
That would be crazy if Brock just snapped and just started like destroying everybody. Just suplexes out of nowhere to everybody.
Yeah. You know
Like,
what?
Fans.
You know what, Hunter? I don't feel like losing. What are you going to do? Then it would be one of those super like fast counts or something stupid would happen. A fast count out match over 1, 2, 5, 6, 9, 10 done. Ding ding ding. Ring the bell. He's over. I just don't. To me, I mean, I'm not saying that Brock's not ready to retire. I haven't heard anything about him retiring. Haven't heard even a little bit of a hint.
I looked it up. It does say that he does intend to be his last match at SummerSlam this year.
So
Whether
then,
it's true or not, I don't know.
well, then it makes. I mean, but again,
But Gunther to
You're gonna
retire?
you're gonna have. I mean, that would be a what do you want to call it? I don't want, not feathering the cap, but that would be that would cement him as the career killer if you take out Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Especially if you make him tap out or put him to sleep.
Oh my Lord.
Which I don't see that happening. It'd have to be beat a different way.
And he's gonna beat, yeah. I don't know.
Or does someone come in and cost him the match and Gunther wins by disqualification and then Brock goes nuts on that person? I mean, yeah, I agree with Logan. I mean, I could see him going nuts if he loses.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, again, when you look at the whole thing, when you view everything, you think it does make you wonder, a little bit about it, of what they could potentially go ahead and do with that guy, because I don't know, like a Brock Lesnar. Look, I mean, look, he beat Undertaker when nobody thought that would happen, right?
True.
So obviously, and he has lost matches,
Right.
but if you were going to do something at SummerSlam, which is in August, would you need Gunther to interfere at WrestleMania?
That I was kind of thinking the same thing. You're gonna have to build a story for that Gunther Brock match,
Right?
If he comes in and interferes and gives Oba the win, that would cause Brock to go nuts and go after Gunther and be, all right, well, we're going to settle this at SummerSlam. And then Gunther's going to come out. Well, the only way I'm doing it is if you put your career on the line. But they have to build something, and that's probably the starting point would be good.
You're one of us now. A loser. Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't.
I don't know. I don't know how all that plays out. Hey, Anthony, I know you said you had to go. Don't want to go ahead and keep you, sir. I know you had to you had some stuff you had to get done, so don't feel as though you have to stick around.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Here's
I guess if it's a decent jumping point, I'll probably jump right now. But
yeah,
definitely appreciate you boys letting me on tonight.
No problem. Anytime.
You are always welcome.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Have a good night. I'll be listening in.
Later, dude.
Night, brother. So we know we're going to get Randy and Cody at Mania. Do you think they give Randy the win here for the 15th? I think they do, and that's what they're setting up for. I don't think he holds it very long, but
I don't. Damn. You know my problem. Here's my big problem with that match. I don't care.
No, I know it's a money machine.
Randy winning 15. Okay. So he could say he has the third most wins.
He's above Triple H. I don't know if that means anything, but I mean, I could see that. I could also see if that match happens, Drew interfering and not getting caught and like knocking Cody out, and Randy wins that way. But
I think so. Drew. So I'm going to tell you right now, I believe this whole thing was set up this way. I think this was the plan the entire time for a couple reasons. Number one, Drew is going to be shooting the Highlander movie, right? So but aside from that, I think the WWE sat back and they looked and they said, if we have Cody as champion, that means we don't have him at Rumble. We don't have him at Chamber. You don't have QB1. You don't have the face. You don't have the top guy at either one of those two. How do you get the top guy in both of those matches? You pull the belt off of him, and then you go ahead and have him enter both of those matches. He's in there, doesn't have to win either one of them, and you set it up the way you set it up to happen the way it did.
You mean Drew or Cody?
No, I'm saying you had Drew go ahead. The plan. I think they sat back and they looked and they said, if we keep the belt on Cody, he's not in the Rumble, he's not in the Chamber, and if he's not in both of those, we coming into a new year, the road to WrestleMania. Two big time PLEs.
You want the money show.
And you don't have, the number one guy in the organization there. I think that was a kind of a plan, and then when I think Drew going ahead and having the movie to go to, helps it. But I think that was the plan all the time. Now,
all right.
Obviously, they're going to do some reverse engineering here to make you believe that they did some long-term storytelling from when Randy and Cody were together freaking 25 years ago, however long ago it was.
I know, right?
They're going to be going, oh, look at this long, you'll get all the friggin', the internet, the ICW, or the IWC, oh, man, look at this long-term.
What was their faction? Legacy.
But but as far as Randy going ahead and pardon me, as far as Randy going ahead and getting 15, I mean, I guess that's okay. Again, to me, I don't really think it matters. Okay, Randy gets it, he drops it. I mean, you think about it. If he gets 15, I don't think they would want him to get to 18.
No.
But if they did, you think about it. It's not like he's super young anymore.
No.
We already know that, he really, I mean, I don't know. There are times when it looks like he can't go like he used to go. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. I don't know.
Matches that make him look do a full time thing.
But to win, he has 14. To win, to get to 18, you gotta win 15, then lose. Then win 16, then lose. And then win 17
and lose.
And then lose. So you have to have, aside from WrestleMania, at least then he has to win. You has to have at least 6 more heavyweight championship matches to get to 18. I just don't.
Does he have it in him for that long? I mean, that's at least what, 2, maybe 3 years, possibly between all of them.
Yeah, he's 45.
I think they give him 15. I don't think they give him any more after that. I could be wrong, but I can just see him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you're right. I think they told Cody he was getting it back, and I wonder if what you're saying is that they told Drew he was going to lose at Mania, then Drew basically said, "Hey, you know what? Screw it then. Let me drop it beforehand. Maybe I don't want to drop it to Randy. I'd rather drop it to Cody. I don't know. How that.
Let me grab this, and I can get started on preparing for this movie."
Yeah, so is Drew, are we getting a Drew Nick Aldis type of thing? Is Aldis coming out of, well, I don't even know if, let's say, Nick Aldis formally retired, but is he coming out is he going to stop being the GM and go back to being, a wrestler? Do they have to, Mexico eliminated? Yeah, well, Mark DeRosa got lucky by speaking out of turn. Are they thinking, along, the lines with Randy? Hey, here we go, Drew and Aldis, bringing Aldis back out of retirement. Aldis gets out of retirement, then he can go into the WWE Hall of Fame. If you bring Nick Aldis back, I just, or you.
I think that's a possibility, because I'm hearing that, I guess, WWE and TK are in talks with Stone Cold to come back this Monday night. So maybe they're like, okay, well, we're going to make you interim general manager since Nick Aldis is going to be out for a little bit and probably training for the match with Drew, maybe.
Well, that'd be SmackDown.
Oh, yeah. It's
Adam Pearce is,
Monday, yeah.
Well, who knows? They can move Pearce to SmackDown. I don't know. I just think from, like, to me, again, we talked about it. When you look at WrestleMania, you have 4 matches already. So you already have 2 matches on each night. Now, here's the big question. Cody Randy close out the weekend. Are they night 2?
Well, that is a good question. Or is it going to be Roman and who would be the bigger draw money wise? Roman and CM Punk, or Cody and I think Cody and Randy close out night 1, honestly, because they really didn't build much there. They have been building with CM Punk and Roman Reigns more. So I think that's going to be Sunday night's match.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying. I mean, is there any kind of possibility that brings? Is there anything that could happen to make that close out WrestleMania at night 2? I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't understand why they would want to do it.
Well, let me shove my head up my butt, and I can let you know in about 2 seconds. That's about what they're going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to flip a coin. Heads, It's Cody. Tails, it's CM Punk.
Yeah. So like we already know we have that. What else do we know?
I have a feeling Seth Rollins is going to have a match there, but I don't know with who or if it'll be a tag team type deal.
I don't disagree with you, but here we are, November. November. Holy crap! Did I jump ahead or what?
You know, wow.
Here we are, March 11th, and in reality, WrestleMania is April 18th, which is what? 4.5. What's the 1, 2, 3, 4? 4. Let's say 5 weeks.
All right, what's he saying there? Rollins is Breaker or Brock if he's not cleared.
Man, I can't.
Trying to figure out what he's trying to say there.
Why would Seth Rollins want to go up against Brock? Like, I don't. That doesn't make. I mean, Lachlan, don't get me wrong. I can understand the match, but wouldn't you think there's going to be something more? Are we going to get some kind of bullshit tag team of LA Knight and Seth Rollins against Theory and Logan Paul?
That I could see.
I mean, you know, like, golly, holy smokes! I mean, I know that's what we're kind of, sort of, you know, maybe going to, but damn.
Because I'm pretty sure Seth is cleared already. They're just playing it, and he's not. Yeah. He's moving, you know, and they're just saying that so they can build this up to where, okay, next Monday night he comes out again or whatever, or Austin Theory and them are in the ring. He shows up. They start beating on him. LA Knight comes out, and they go, here you go. Here's your tag team. I don't think they put Seth and Breaker in there unless Breaker has the title. I just don't see that match happen unless he has the title. I mean, it's possible.
Oh, you think Breaker against Brock?
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. I just think Seth Rollins is doing something with, you know, the other two right now. The two healthy members of the Division that I could see them doing something there. But we, you know, again, so are we, with Charlotte and Alexa winning, are we getting them against the whatever the hell they're calling Legend and Jax? Is that a WrestleMania? Is that a WrestleMania match now?
Well, no, because you have Rhea going. Oh, who'd you say again? Sorry.
No, for the tag team with Alexa and Charlotte winning, are we getting them against Lash and
Probably.
and Nia Jax for the title? So that maybe is the 5th match. No, he's saying right. Seth versus Breaker. If Breaker can't go, it's Seth versus Brock. What I'm saying is, how do they switch to Brock unless they do something over the next couple of weeks? Because you would think the way things are shaping up, Seth would be doing something with Theory and Paul. Theory and Paul have to be at Mania in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. I think you're going to see the tag match like you said. LA Knight and Seth.
You know, they just have to. Sure, they're going to make it a ladder match so they can get the Bellas and the Kubugis. Yeah, they'll do some kind of stupid-ass crap.
I don't see, with reading what I read, that Obafemi is set to go against Brock at WrestleMania. I don't see them putting Seth coming back from injury against Brock, period.
Or especially when his move is the German suplex, which basically flips you right back onto that shoulder injury potentially again.
I see it being the Rollins and LA Knight versus those two. You're going to have the regular title matches. You're going to have and then you're going to have.
Are we not going to get the Usos?
They haven't really been doing much with them with the tag team belts.
Yeah, I think I almost wonder if Austin Creed going ahead and getting hurt with New Day, if that affected what they were going to try and do.
Maybe. I have a feeling, and I don't know why, and I really don't want to watch this match, but the original Americano versus the other one, mask versus mask match. I mean, I don't know why I see that. I just feel it's coming.
That would be
Be a night one match, obviously, but
yeah, I can see it being a match. It would be interesting if they would try and do a mask versus mask.
I can see it. They've done it before.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I could. That I don't think it would ever be done. I just wonder if it would be that that soon.
And just the way they've been playing it kind of seems that way. I don't know if Trick will get a match there. I don't know.
I would think, man, Trick is there. Trick is slowly becoming a face. The crowd is so. I mean, whoop that Trick is just screamed and I mean stuff like that. So, Trick. I mean, it's like that's what I'm saying. Like you want, like all of a sudden you bring up this talent.
Well, he's technically a heel right now, right?
Yes, but they're gonna from from what I've saw online, that there will be the crowd is so into him that they plan on having some kind of a face turn. Now, what that means as far as how you do that, I don't know.
How you'd get him in there.
To me, it's just like, again, you look what you have, look what you've been doing with the other guy that they just brought up recently, huh?
Javon Evans.
Yeah. What are you doing? Like, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna kill all of his momentum that he was gaining and stuff like that, and what? Not put him at Mania? But again, that's what we talked about from a standpoint of, you. It's great that they're bringing up this talent,
But they're not doing anything with him.
but now what are you doing with him? What are you going to do with you look at what you've been doing with Carmelo Hayes. I wonder if we are building up a Carmelo Hayes against Ilya Dragunov at Mania.
That's a possibility. I could see that.
But we haven't talked about anything of them doing anything with the women.
No. And Javon Evans, they had him, I guess Cody come up to him to try to join the New Day. I don't see that happening, but the women, you're going to have the Intercontinental title match this Monday with Bayley versus AJ, which I'm pretty sure I can't see AJ dropping the belt that quick.
I don't understand why you would do it. In my opinion, I don't know. I don't know why you would why you would think taking the belt off of her, not for Becky.
Right. That's why I think you're going to see AJ win that, and then, or you're going to have Becky come out and ruin it for Bayley, and then they're going to set the match up for Mania, Becky versus AJ for the belt.
Possibly. Dom, I'm going to say I'm not 100% sure, because if you look at it, that winds up being what you have 4 heavyweight titles, you have 2 U.S. titles, you have 2 intercontinental titles, you have 2 men's tag teams, you have 1 women's tag team. That's 11 matches right there.
Who's the tag team in SmackDown? Is that the Usos, or are they on?
No, Usos are Raw. Crap. I forgot who it is.
Let me look it up real quick. I'll find out.
They're just going for the storyline of Bayley getting screwed out of a main spot again. Probably. 14 matches is going to be a lot, 7 each day. But I think, both nights like 7 hours long. No, that's why they went ahead and made it 1. That's why they make it 2 nights. I mean, they're probably going to be about 5 hours. Yeah. Oh, that's right, MFTs.
Yep, MFTs. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have them. So that's 11 matches right there. If you throw the Brock match in, that's 12. That only leaves 2 more matches available. So you have Obafemi, you have Trick Williams, you have Javon Evans, you have Seth Rollins, LA Knight, you have the Vision.
Or you can almost bank on the tag team of the Vision versus Seth and somebody, I guess somebody of his choosing, or LA Knight it's going to be. And then I think if you don't get a mask versus mask, you're going to have a Finn versus Dom. I believe. I don't know if that's WrestleMania worthy because there's not. What belt are you going to put on there?
Like I'm saying, I don't know. You know, you have 11 titles. If you put all them on the line, that's 11 matches. You have the Brock match, that's 12. If you're going to go 7 each night, that means you only have one more match each night. You know,
I'm pretty sure you can count that the Seth Rollins when I see that coming, but you still need more. So, what are you going to do?
Right.
Who do you?
Williams, Javon Evans. You know, how many people are you not? You know, I mean, that's.
I think you'd have to make it a women's match of some sort.
You would think so.
But I don't know who you would. I mean, unless you have Bianca or somebody that's out come back.
But to fight who?
Yeah.
Jordan Grace. you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. You know, from a standpoint.
Or do you do 7 one night and 6 the next night?
Oh, you could. You could do. Yeah, I mean, you could. Most certainly
Sunday night be just 6 matches and maybe have some like people coming out that you didn't expect to be there and just kind of fill the gap there.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be interesting to see how a lot of this fills out.
Oh, I know.
How much filler are we getting?
Yeah. And I
like they're building up Kiana James and everything. Are you just going to have her come out with Julia? I mean, you know, like they I mean, for crying out loud, they made her win to get into the elimination chamber. They made her. Didn't she get at least? Didn't she get the first pin at elimination? So, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, you're building up some of these people. What are you going to do with them? Maybe we need to look at it different. Maybe you need to look at that. You know, maybe you need to look at the 4 days: SmackDown, Night 1, Night 2, Raw. Maybe that has to be encapsulated, and we get some of those lower matches, you know, on those nights. Maybe you get, you know, the U.S. title, the men's U.S. title, and the women's U.S. title. Well, the women's U.S. title is what? SmackDown? Yeah. You know, maybe you get the women's, I mean, the men's U.S. title.
Okay, so I'm reading now the ones that are confirmed as of right now. Obviously, the 2 men's champion and the 2 women's, and Brock's Open Challenge so far. And then in addition, WrestleMania 42 match card expected edition: Sami Zayn versus Trick Williams.
Oh gosh.
And then there's possibly a Drew versus Jacob Fatu that could be there.
Yeah, Drew, Drake. That's right. 2 more other guys. So.
And AJ versus Becky, which I can see that happening. So, no, Dom Finn is also possible. They're saying the Mask versus Mask 1, Usos versus Division. I didn't think about that. The Usos versus Division could be one, and they hold Seth off for something else.
Well, I guess if you take Lockman's theory and you're moving Seth to go Seth against Brock, so you build up Seth to go ahead and come back and then get beat up by Brock.
It's possible. I'm looking at the other one is Lesnar versus LA Knight, which that we already know is going to be Oba. Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul by himself. Gunther versus Rey Mysterio.
That makes sense.
Are they going to
Seth Rollins, you know, versus a Logan Paul or something like that makes sense.
They're saying, I mean, I don't know if Ray's ready to. WWE's reported 3 potential WrestleMania opponents in mind for Gunther: Lesnar, Femi, and Rey Mysterio. The logical choice is Mysterio, based on his career killer. And Lachlan was right. Women's tag team title ladder match is possible. So yeah, there's a lot they could do, but now that I think about it, the Usos versus them.
But don't you have to start something?
Well, they kind of did Monday night.
Who?
The Usos came out to help LA Knight to fend off Logan and Austin Theory.
Yeah, that's true.
That's kind of a little bit of a start. I mean, do you possibly have Logan wrestle night one in the tag team and then Seth Rollins single match the next night?
I wouldn't think that. I think we still need an opponent for Brock. I mean, I don't know if it would be Seth. I don't know who it would be, but we still need an opponent there.
I'm pretty sure you're going to get Oba there. From what I was reading, it's basically set in stone that it's Oba. But I think Lesnar wins that, not in a defining, overpowering match. It's going to be pretty even, I think. But I don't know. I mean, I could see a Gunther versus Rey Mysterio, but you're going to have to get that one started again because you kind of had where he slapped him, and then they had.
Are you saying Rey is retiring at WrestleMania?
I mean, is it possible? I mean, he kind of is due, but I would think they would do the match son versus, dad, and then he retires by his dad, and like you said, comes to the light side or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know about that now.
I don't know. To me, I look at it from a standpoint of is that if I'm Rey Mysterio and I'm going out, I'm sorry, there's no way anybody is doing it other than my son.
I agree.
Ain't happening. I know what you want. Sorry. That's not going to happen. I am not going ahead and, having a match and it not be my son.
Yeah, right now he indicated that his retirement is getting really close, but he hasn't confirmed at WrestleMania 42. Mysterio noted that his son Dominic has given him a second win to continue. But I would think if you're going to go out and you have your son there, my son's taking me out.
Yeah. There's no way in hell. I would like saying, from that standpoint, but I don't know. We have to wait and see what happens, what filters out over the next few weeks, because I mean, you would have to think in the next there's 5 weeks till little more than 5 weeks left till WrestleMania. You would think over the next 3, we have to start to fill in some stuff. I mean, it only gives you 2 weeks. I mean, if you don't want to start announcing some of these matches,
how are you going to build them up to be anything?
Not only that, how are you going to get people excited to buy the tickets?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure the MFTs will probably go up against the Wyatt family thing. I can see that happening again because there's really nobody else for them there.
Right.
If you're having Oba Brock, you're going to have to start working on that one here soon.
Well, supposedly Brock Lesnar is going to be at every Raw up until WrestleMania. I believe is what they showed on the calendar, or maybe he was going to miss one or something along those lines. So you got to figure sooner or later he's going to come out and something is going to be said, something is going to be done. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So let's see, June 15th. They show him on he's not listed for this Monday, the 15th. It's the 15th? No, it's the 16th. Why are they saying the 15th? Oh, because I'm looking at the wrong month. Maybe if I looked at the right month, it'd be better. Okay, so yeah, see, I could see them bringing Stone Cold in maybe to announce that he's going to be what do they call that? MC for it or whatever for WrestleMania,
The host.
possibly. Let's see, do they show? Yeah, Brock is there for Sunday this Monday. Is he going to be in Boston? Yes, he is. Well, they only getting Roman Reigns every so often too, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, like I said, I think they said that that Brock was going to be around in a lot of stuff. I don't know, man.
That's what it looks like. He's been in it. Maybe just he's got to build something up that would make sense to, or maybe him and Obi end up having a match one of those nights, and then that's how they get to WrestleMania. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they build between now and then, because what they're building now is just crap. Like you said, Monday night, that whole thing with all those men in masks just made no sense to me.
It's dumb.
Because they did it twice.
I mean, it was just.
And Seth didn't say a word. What? Why?
It was just stupid. It made zero sense. I mean, I don't. Again, it's one of those things where you scratch your head more than anything when it comes to that type of thing.
Yeah, two guys. Yeah, I know that, but I mean, they didn't even give him a chance to like open his mouth and say anything. At least if he said something, it would have made a little more sense to me. But I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I get the him being silent part and not saying anything and just the staring and stuff like that. But you can't do all of this and then pivot to Brock Lesnar.
Right. You would this would have to be
that gets me.
I don't see that happening. He's going to have a tag team match, especially coming back off of injury, where he can tag if he's starting to feel a little pain or something, rest it. And the two guys he's going against are kind of wackies, as I'm going to put it. And they'll put probably Knight and Seth over on those two. So when the other two come back, they'll be really pissed off. And then, I don't know. I don't think Breaker's going to be ready to go for Mania. That's why he took out.
That's true. Okay, they took out Heyman to have that storyline on the back burner. That's true. That's true, because Seth did stomp him and do all the other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you're definitely 100% there. Walking for sure.
But I do not see him, Seth, and Brock at Mania. I definitely see, like I said, from what I read, it's going to be Oba. Oba probably loses to him. He's a new guy. And then Brock loses at SummerSlam to freaking Gunther. Can't Gunther get hurt or something?
I just to me, I just think it's going to be it's the whole thing is interesting for me from a standpoint of you're going to have this Obafemi. You are building him up to be unstoppable, the next beast,
right?
So
if he loses, that makes no sense.
If he loses, it makes no sense. If he loses clean, it makes no sense. If he loses dirty, it could go ahead and it can make sense.
Right.
But then how do you have a retirement match? It's going to have to be known as a retirement match. And then what? You give it to Oba rather than the guy that you have gone ahead and claimed is the career killer.
I would like to see, like, if they did that, I'd rather see that than Gunther, personally. But
I agree. But
a Gunther Brock match, makes no sense to me whatsoever. It doesn't. Besides the name, that's the only thing it makes. I don't know. And this new writer they have, I don't think she's doing any better than Road Dogg did from watching Monday night. If she already wrote some of Monday night. It just makes no sense to me. But we shall see what happens from here.
You got that right.
So,
well, good one tonight. Not a lot of good, football stuff. We got our wrestling fix in also, which is big time.
A little bit of baseball in, but the WBC and the USA make it. I don't think they make it past the first round, but okay.
Well, they were. They were favored, weren't they?
Yeah, but now they're saying that the Dominican team could be actually favored. I don't know why, but I mean they're winning now too. But let's see, you're gonna show me here, like. So you're going to have in the first one, Puerto Rico versus Italy. And you have U.S. going up against Canada. And then Japan's going to face the runner-up of Pool D and Korea Pool C.
I mean, the U.S. should beat Canada.
They should, yes. And I don't know what the standings were, but Canada got 3-1. Puerto Rico's 3-1. They win, they'll go 4-1. So they'll make it. Or them. Yeah, I mean it's possible. I don't see anybody beating Japan, but anything's possible. So I mean, we thank you all for coming tonight. Appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Mike, thanks for having me, brother.
Oh, always, brother. Always.
How's the move coming along before we leave? I see looks a little cleaner back there behind you.
Yeah, man. We are getting ready. So we go up. We'll be going up soon. We'll be going up the next week. Basically to go ahead and have the house be ours. Basically go ahead and take ownership and stuff like that, and then while we're up there, this house is gonna go on the market. So who knows? We could be up in a new place as early as May. So
Logan's asking. I don't think certain people are gonna watch this, but so far we have 10 people. I'd like to get 5 more, would make it a little cheaper. Dom and me have been trying to find.
Thanks, Dom.
We did find one on Fanatics at $5. We both put it. Oh, he put in one for 400. I think he said 350. The guy denied it. I put one in for 400. The guy denied it. Logging it, or Dom, I think, is talking to the guy right now. So we're kind of seeing. We might end up having to go with something a little more, but it's not going to be between 10 of us more than $50 a person, I would imagine, if we only stick with the 10 that we have.
So, just out of curiosity, I mean, why is that card that expensive?
I have no idea. I went to all my card shops around here. I even called one that was in California, a vintage shop, and he didn't have it. They say it's one of the more popular cards for some reason. I mean, the ones that are out there now are graded, and you're looking like around $6. Which I think is, I mean, I understand it's a 49 Bowman. I do. I understand that. However, it's Richie Ashburn. I mean, was he a great player? Yes. Was he that great? Better than some of the other ones? No.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm again, I'm not was not trying to disrespect,
Right.
Richie Ashburn, but
It's really, and I've been trying all over the place trying to find one cheaper, and just there's not many out there. Even like I'm like I even have it on Facebook in one of the vintage groups. If anybody has, I don't care what condition it is because that's what Mike said, and nobody. So I'm hoping to find something before the end of the month. Yeah, rarity is the other thing. But
so just a quick thing. Bowman's Best just came out, and all kinds of crap on Fanatics that within 20 minutes, there were errors, people they couldn't check out. It's that other thing. And then release day, Backyard Breaks pulls the Otani 1 of 1.
Not surprising. Yeah, because I have that Western New York guy, New York Cards, I guess is his name, I think, on YouTube. He's on Facebook too, and he put a big old post about Topps and Fanatics, how they screwed people, where he was in the queue for 20 minutes, then it went down to a minute, then went back to 20 minutes. When he finally got in, it was all sold out. He's like, it's ridiculous. You make so much of this crap.
Well, there was one guy, he waited 20 minutes to get to the checkout. He had 10 boxes. I guess you could do up to 10 or whatever. When he went to go ahead and when he waited for 20 minutes to go to checkout, once he finally got into checkout, it said, I'm sorry, we changed the quantity to 2. And then they changed the quantity again to 1. And then when he went to check out, it said sold out.
Yeah, they're screwing the average collector out of stuff, and they're gonna end up losing money. Is what's gonna happen. People are gonna be like, you know what? This is the way it's gonna be. Bye.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, they did. Yes, and I'm glad. My thing is, I'm curious of what we're gonna do in the draft, because originally they were looking at the Caleb guy and some other defensive player. Now I don't know what they're gonna do, but you do have Heritage coming out next week. Stay tuned to my channel. I'm supposed to get a box Friday for a rip and ship for our buddy Dom. So hopefully that'll come in. The end of the month, you got the wonderful celebration boxes. And that's
rumors about the Bowman's Best is that breakers were getting pallets of it.
That does not surprise me.
Pallets.
I mean, my LCS, I talked to the one guy down there, Tony, and he's like, yeah, we had it, but it got shipped right out. We didn't even have it on the shelves. Really? So.
Oh, well. It is what it is.
I mean, thanks,
I'm not everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Have a great week.
Stay safe. Treat others how you want to be treated.
And we will see you next week.
On the flippity-dippity side.
Later.